to the Patriot Hour.
Friday night.
Real
talk. Real time, peoples. Super exciting stuff. Oh, yeah. Everybody across the northern part of Middle America recouping from a Icelandic style part of winter, I should say. I'm very hesitant to say the whole polar vortex because that's just something we've heard recently in our lifetimes. I never heard of that when I was a kid.
Yeah. All right, got that popped out. That's all I needed to do.
Oh, lots of love to our mods out there. You guys are rocking and rolling. Love all you guys, and especially you guys come up here on the the chat. Super awesome.
All right, folks. So what do we know? I wanted to just talk about hashtag Me Too admitted sexual predator Cory B. Booker joins presidential race. Crazy.
I say Booker a no-go.
Booker a no-go. Oops, see here. There's your intro. I accidentally clicked that. All right, I got Ben back. All right, so Me Too admitted sexual predator here. I did this earlier, went over it a little bit, but so if we remember, he wrote the op-ed right here. It was titled "So Much for Still in Second."
We just want to open a little comedy for you guys before we start smacking some real talk in real time.
Yes, it's just a little opening piece. I said we got to spend at least a minute or two on it. Okay, so anyway, we got the cards going on. If you guys notice when you come to the video, at the top right-hand corner. So like, I think you could touch there now, and you're going to be able to take a poll. We got a couple polls. We started it last night. I just changed
one. I say heck
one.
No.
So if you could check the, are you guys able to see the card? Let me see here. Yeah, you hit the little eye. What is it, like a little information bubble, guys? It's a little circle with an eye in the middle, and then the show doesn't go away or anything. All right.
No, yeah,
I keep doing that. I have that up. Let me get that back up.
I'm so excited. We're trying to fight for our lives. No, yeah. Little fun stuff for us just to get some little something to talk about. No, I mean this is comedic in a lot of aspects. You know, we see right through it, so it's always just kind of funny.
All right, so no new cue other than what I read earlier, but we can take a look at those just to
do a quick update.
Whoops. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons tonight. I love it. All right. So what do we have here? Did you take a look at these, Ben? I know I went over them in the last video. Okay.
Yeah, your last episode was pretty good. Obviously, Q had asked it since the last time he went posted dark, which obviously his last post was like way earlier this month. What happened regarding Planned Parenthood? Like, what events followed the post? Coincidence? I mean, you know, they legalized, late-term abortion. I mean, this is in New York. This is like crazy stuff happening. We're talking. Even the people, even the atheists on the Hill are making tweet and comments of, oh, this is Molech worship right here. This is straight up, killing your firstborn baby. Virginia is proposing laws of after birth abortion if the before birth abortion doesn't quite work, because people think it's perfect every single time the procedure is done. A lot of times they are very not successful. Not to go too dark on that, but Virginia's going for after birth abortion as well, which is just stop and think about that.
Yeah. All right.
Pure
Do you
evil,
guys
folks.
hear any static coming out of Ben's microphone when he talks? Just the last few minutes.
Have you heard it? Is it coming through as well, or what? Are you hearing
it comes through great. Like, you're coming through great. It's just as you were just talking there, somebody put yes. Fluid pour great. We'll put. You guys are hearing the static. I mean, do you hear it at all right now, or is it just a little hum? It's not like the craziest thing. It just sounds like everyone's hearing it. I think it's just your connection again. Just a little bit. Nothing major. Nothing major.
I'll have to replace the chords, you guys. I apologize. This is my number 2 chord. I'm going through a bunch of my chords.
And a lot of his were always used for the music scene. So they're plugged and unplugged, plugged in and unplugged. So they're, I was always saying that here, and he was like, chords always go bad. I was like, you know what though? Mine are going to be plugged in like the one time, and I haven't had, but I do unplug this one a lot for the battery change. More than you think somebody should, but
I got to get out there, folks, and get myself just a nice, cheap little brand new cord that you can just plug in once, because mine's pretty thing. So,
all right, I think we're doing fine. I'm thinking we're doing fine. So yes, on the Q post there, back to it. You're talking about so what do we know? Didn't Project Veritas? I can't remember the guy's name. But regardless, Project Veritas, he went to court, and they said the videos that he took of Planned Parenthood that were undercover when he, seems to get people, and they go undercover and they get close to the heads of these people and they get them on film talking secretly. Mm-hmm. The judge found it to not be altered, to not be
everything was legit. Nothing was.
Yes. Yep. So Q's saying that they go around. How do they get? They get funding guaranteed, which is government collected tax dollars, which is our money. And should these places, just on a ethical level, folks, should they be able to take our tax dollars? Because a lot of us out here that go to work and get our money shoved upwards, shouldn't we be able to say where our money goes? Where not just particular. Exactly. I want my dollar to go here. I'm saying like it should come to a consensus. And if there's more people saying no for some of these programs, then it just bottom line shouldn't be a few people being able to say, well, it's going to happen anyway. And especially if it's just coming there by 64 billion or million that they were able to give back to not Republican parties. It's our tax dollars at work to fund, like the Clinton machine. None of it went towards. That's not right. It's
legal money laundering. Is exactly what it is. It's legal money laundering. That's how. This is the deep state, folks. And I mean, there's as much. There's I'm pro this or pro that. I'm pro not killing babies. How about some of that? I'm pro not killing innocent life.
And they said this should take some of the people that are even on that side for that the states that they had some things in close to that, and it wasn't close to birth. They said it was this later stage, and they go, now it passed all the way up to here, and they're just like, well, being real quiet and like, is it right? And like, well, no, it shouldn't be, but and they're like, well, then you guys need to say something, like speak up and be the ones to say this is even a little too far. I don't know.
By the way, awesome love to Thomas Bryan. He said NESARA and GSARA. When will it happen? Ballpark. Just saying.
That's
Are you talking like national security stuff and
no, that's the kind of the implementation of the global economic reset and evaluation.
Well, we went over that when it came to the current documents. They're alive. They're right now. They're sitting on the House floor right now, and they haven't been killed yet, so we know that's the case. They are definitely still alive. They're sitting there. We went over the resolutions and things like that for the gold standard and going back to a fixed price of gold. That's what our base dollar on. So, like you guys, man, I'm really waiting for that to happen sooner than later, but it could be. But getting back to the whole Planned Parenthood, this is how money flows in, tax dollars, and they're basically they're for profit, right?
Yes.
Or are they not for profit? So are they
Who's
for
that?
profit?
Planned Parenthood. I think they're a
Planned Parenthood.
I'm not sure. If somebody knows,
if you guys could tell me,
we can look it up real
know.
quick. But I'm in the middle of looking up something else while you're talking about this. But your mic's cracking up a hair. Unplug it and plug it back in. Let me hear it.
I got you covered. I got you covered. Let me do a quick mute, and I'm gonna do a little song and dance right here. But you can still see me. I'm just gonna mute so I can knock with you guys.
Yeah. We appreciate it. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a little crackle here and there, isn't it, guys? All right. So I had something. What was that earlier? How's everybody doing tonight? Give me a minute here. I'm just looking for something. All right. Let me get back caught up here live. Cold drive to St. Paul. Chris Stockton, what's up, brother? Random question. Yeah, you got one?
What's up? What's up?
You're back, sounding good. We got some questions possibly rolling in. We'll keep an eye out. I wanted to say this as well. Ben and I covered this in the last. Pentagon confirms President Trump can build the wall without declaring national emergency.
Okay. Now, we talked about that because due to the fact of there's been a war declared on drugs, and one of the pivotal, interesting point of where drugs is coming into our country is from the southern border.
Yeah, you were correct. Said the so under 10 United States Code 284, which authorizes President Trump to deploy the military to the southern border and to do a lot of other things. And for clarity, if you look it up in the dictionary, the word fence and the word barrier includes walls of a variety of different materials. So having been said, it seems to me that 10 USC 284 can be used by the United States to direct the United States military to build a wall. And Representative Mo Brooks of Alabama asked the Deputy Under Secretary of Defense for policy, and that was John Rode, and he said, "You are correct." Said Under Secretary of Defense for policy, John Rode, that use of authority would authorize the Secretary of Defense to erect barriers, roads, fencing, those types of materials to disrupt the drug smuggling alone. And not to mention that Trump has declared it a national
emergency.
Well, what was it for the trafficking, the human
human
violations?
Trafficking. Mm-hmm.
So again, this won't be heard here. Copy.
By the way, as Mike's doing the magic there in the studio, give a thumbs up, y'all. I mean, we're trying to get this stuff out for sure. It definitely helps us. And as you can see, even here in my own studio, we're trying to get this going as well, get the best connection. Here it is.
Authorizes President Trump to deploy the military
to
the southern border, to build fences, and to do a lot of other things. And for clarity, if you look it up, I want to direct your attention to 10 United States Code 284, which authorizes President Trump to deploy the military to the southern border, to build fences, and to do a lot of other things. And for clarity, if you look it up in the dictionary, the word fence includes the word barrier, and the word barrier includes walls made of a variety of different materials. So that having been said, it seems to me that 10 U.S. Code 284 can be used by the President of the United States to direct the United States military to build a wall. Now, as of today, you've mentioned military forces along the southern border. Have any of them been deployed pursuant to 10 U.S.C. 284?
Congressman, I don't believe any of our forces have been deployed pursuant to 10 U.S.C. 284. You are correct, however, that use of authority would authorize the Secretary of Defense to erect barriers, roads, fencing, those type of materials to disrupt drug smuggling.
Does 10 U.S.C. 284, as you understand it, require the declaration of a national emergency before it is implemented?
No.
It does not.
No.
Has President Trump, to your knowledge, ever used 10 U.S.C. 284 to direct the military to build the wall that is necessary for border security?
No, not to my knowledge, Congressman.
If President Trump were to direct the Pentagon, the United States military, pursuant to 10 U.S.C. 284, to build such barriers as are necessary to secure our southern border from drug trafficking and international crime cartels, would the United States military obey that order?
If we judge it to be a lawful order, yes, sir. And I assume it would be.
Thank you. I appreciate your responses. And, Mr. Chairman, I yield back the remainder of my time.
Think about that. So, how are the military down on our borders? They've already been down there, Ben. We know that.
Laney Lee, you're awesome, by the way.
Oh, yes. Think about it, folks. We've already had the military down at the border, right? I mean, am I not?
Well, it was only a few months after he became our official, the president of the United States of America, the 45th. There was border wall repair. The repair bill, which actually meant to actually fill gaps with new fences. So they've been doing that. Plus, we've been through it on many times. We've seen pictures in 2015 of illegal immigrants hanging off the wall, climbing on the wall, on the break wall, I believe in the California border area. And Trump tweets a recent current photograph of that wall that we thought that they were jumping over, all with concertina wire, all ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
So they've been either repairing. Now, see, here's another funny thing is when you're in the repair mode, if there's a gap in the fence, and there's pictures online from the very get-go, you start replacing those gaps. Now, how long is that gap? Well, that could be determined. So he has already been building. We've been building. We've had good Americans, good American steel, American concrete that holds the American steel in the ground to make it extra good, already all along our border. And still, not all along, but they've been building it as this whole rhetoric we've been hearing for 2 years about this and that. No, this is this and that. And do you honestly think that our government's been on a partial shutdown all over a wall? They're already building the wall. So why would you do a partial shutdown for $5 billion? We all know that $5 billion, it's going to be like 30, 40. We're talking to actually physically build structures from sea to shining sea. Obviously not where the 100-foot cliffs are.
He actually said that word. Obviously. He already said, we don't need a wall from
there's cliffs that are 100-foot cliffs that there's nothing that can climb a 100-foot cliff.
I think he's saying like I think his actual word was 590 miles total or something that we're focusing on.
That's where the flat land is, and people can easily drive up, or it's a desolate area. I mean, what was it? A lot of these border towns in Texas that had their walls in disrepair the last couple of years, the crime rates has been going steadily down in correlation for as the wall gets repaired and patched and back to full functioning order. I mean, stop and think about that, guys. If literally overnight they get a 10-foot or a 30-foot or a 2-mile section of the wall completed, and the crime literally overnight goes down by 80%, I mean, that's been correlating data all along for the last couple of years as the wall's been repairing. Trump himself has said there's been cities, I think it's these border towns in, like I said, in Texas, that the crime overnight stopped, almost 100%, because these were open parts of the border where it was maybe one rail 3 feet high and some barbed wire, and that was it. And it was a very well-known spot. It was a porous point in our southern border.
So are you trying to say that the walls work? No.
I guess so. I've seen it happen with my own eyes.
Well, that's what we were going to say here is like, we just went through a negative 22 with, wind chills are showing it from negative 45, 50. You didn't get hyperthermia. Your kids didn't get hyperthermia. Why? Because walls work. It kept the heat out. It kept you warm. You didn't get hyperthermia and get, frostbite. And
it kept the good warm in and the evil cold out on this time of year. Can't we all just get along? Stay warm, guys. You're awesome. Awesome. Yes, this is amazing. Yeah, no, we've had record times. I mean, it's this temperature. I think we're all getting used to seeing